Hey guys, it's Pierre again here today with episode number 76. We've definitely crossed the 3/4 point, and now in this 100-day challenge that I promised you, 100 videos on YouTube in 100 days. So if you're following on any other social media, I may have skipped a day on social media, but on YouTube, I have definitely not skipped a single one. Every day I've put one up here for you so that you can come along. And I'm also checking to see what is it that you guys are most interested in. So go ahead and comment, because I'll be looking for top videos to see where exactly to focus my time to create more of those types of videos for you who are watching these videos now. So anyway, 3 practical ways to stay out of debt. And again, this came out from the last episode, number 75, where we were talking about avoiding debt. So let's go into the practical, because we need to see it on top of the spiritual to put everything together and get results. So first thing, of course, is create and stick to a budget, right? Whatever it is that you are building, it's important, as Luke 14:28 says, for which of you desiring to build a tower does not first sit down and count the cost, whether he has enough to complete it. And I think this is really important because, for example, here I am in Puerto Rico, and since 2017 I moved there, and when I first moved there, I heard the pastor, William Tavares, said he was going to build a church without debt. But you know what? It's like that, of course, touched my heart, and I knew that was the place where I belonged, the place where I needed to sit my butt down and put my hand to the plow and get working, get busy. And I can tell you, in 5 years, we finished that building debt-free, and that I give great credit to the pastor for having vision, and then secondarily for understanding he was not gonna complete it on his own, especially after a major hurricane hit the island. So I have to give him kudos on this, because he and his family, and of course the church, we all came together and truly helped and brought our hands to the labor of helping, giving to make it happen. So it's important for you to create and stick to a budget so that the things you start, you can finish. Number 2, build an emergency fund. And I can hear some of you saying out there, hey, I've heard this before from Dave Ramsey. What's up with that? Well, let me tell you, Dave pulled this directly from the Bible. Proverbs 21:20 rather says, precious treasure and oil are in a wise man's dwelling, but a foolish man devours it. And the point here is this: you have to save so that you not only have an emergency fund, but you have savings to invest, because savings will give you an opportunity in times when the economy is low. You can go in and get assets at a very cheap price. So that's the reason you have to save. And this is why, if you learn to tithe, it's going to put you in a position where it's going to be easier to save, so that when a wind comes, it doesn't blow away your savings with something foolish. What's the other key thing besides building an emergency fund? And of course, you're probably saying, well, what's the practical aspect of that? Think about having $500 aside. It is said that many an American don't even have $500 saved, right? And that's sad, and that's true. That's a statistic. And I've been there at times, and I can tell you it's tough to be there, because if something happens to your car, to your fridge, something breaks, what do you do then, right? So for me, it's like, it's important to know what you can do in a moment, so you don't have to go outside of your family to borrow money, right? So that's why it's important to set that aside. Number 3, use credit wisely. And of course, I can hear many saying, oh man, you can use credit and pay it at the end of the month, and you can get all this mileage and everything else. Now, that's all great, that's all good, but use it wisely, because the interest is where you're gonna pay you're gonna pay through the nose if you start paying interest on credit. So owe no man anything except to love him, or love each other. For the one who loves another has fulfilled the law. Why is this important? To owe no man anything. It's not a sin to be in debt. It's not a sin to use credit, obviously. But the point is, it's about putting yourself in a situation where at the end of the day, you're not allowing credit, the interest, to devour what you have in your savings. You're putting yourself in a situation where you remember the debtor is servant to the lender. You want to become the lender and not the debtor. So for that, you must learn to use credit wisely. So I adjure you, make sure you're doing these 3 things to start a practical way to stay out of debt. Remember, number 1, create and stick to a budget, build an emergency fund, and use credit wisely. And of course, there are many other practical ways to do this. And of course, if you've heard of guys like Dave Ramsey and many others, go ahead and listen to them because they've got this thing down pat. And so today I just want to offer some basic stuff to get you moving forward, things that will speak to you so you know, yep, I better do this and I better do it quick. Again, if you're here on YouTube watching, go ahead, like and subscribe. Would love to hear from you what other topics you're interested in that have to do with this kingdom of God way of seeing things to help you transform your mind. And with that said, I'll see you on the next episode. Enjoy.